Hey, Rock Solid listeners, it's time for another installment of Pat's CD collection. This time we're going to focus on the 1981 release by Journey, of course called Escape, unless you like to call it E5C4P3. That's not annoying. But this album was released in July of 1981, and this is a monster. I mean, I was familiar with Journey from the Steve Perry era albums with Greg Raleigh, Infinity, Evolution, and Departure. My neighbor, Dave Helensick, he was older than me. He had a great record collection. He lived right next door, and he was always willing to lend me his albums because he knew I would take care of them. And that's how I was introduced to a lot of bands like Journey and the Cars. So when Journey Escape came out, I believe this is the first one that I bought on day of release. And my friend Bump Hallbritter, well, Scott, but his nickname's Bump. It's a long story. But he was the first one to have this album. And he invited me over to his house. I got the new Journey album. And we dropped the needle. And Don't Stop Believin' plays. And it's just glorious. And it's not Infinity or Evolution or Departure. It's something different. It's still Journey, and yet it's different. And we listen to that thing, you know, Stone in Love, Who's Crying Now, Keep on Running, Still They Ride. We flip it, Escape, Lay It Down, Dead or Alive, Mother, Father, and then we close out with Open Arms. It was amazing. And then we flipped it back and we listened again. And we must have listened to this album, I swear, 5 times in a row. It was incredible. And every single time, we couldn't believe what we were hearing. We couldn't believe this band we loved, we could now love that much more. I mean, the songwriting, the production, produced by Mike Stone and Kevin Elson. I mean, this is the first album with Jonathan Cain. And just the songwriting work of Cain, Perry, and Neil Schon was just phenomenal. I mean, Who's Crying Now and Open Arms were written by just Jonathan Cain and Steve Perry. But this is the band just killing it. And I love this CD, or this album. I have it signed by Steve Perry. And this is, of course, they remastered it twice. This is the second time. This album sold 10 million copies. It's certified a diamond release. It's their biggest selling studio album of all time, not including Greatest Hits, which is also a juggernaut. But this, for me, this is their best album, without a doubt. Some people say they like Frontiers. For me, Frontiers falls apart at the end. Side 2 is not good. And I'm kind of sick of some of the songs on Frontiers. But I never get sick of Journey. I will hiccup while I'm talking, but I never get sick of this album. Steve Perry, Neil Schon, Jonathan Cain, Ross Ballery, Steve Smith. Let's call that the second classic lineup of Journey. Maybe it's the first. Maybe it's the definitive classic lineup. Either way, this is a must-have. If you don't own this album, you must get it. And still a go-to album after all these years. 40 years on, and I still love Escape. Thanks.